Information has never been used before. Ow! Four?
Oh my god. My game's completely lagging out. I think I'm crashing.
That's completely fair, to be honest. No, dude! Hey
guys, and welcome back. So Operation Glasshouse is finally here, and with it we got the new map Prison that we see here. We're going to go into the map a little bit later here, but for now we're just going to kind of take a look at what's going on or along the battlefield here. This is just push insurgents, so this is point A right now currently, but we're going to go through the map a little bit later. But for now, let's talk about what we actually got. So we got, of course, our 2 free cosmetics and the 2 paid cosmetics, along with some weapon skin DLCs, which is pretty awesome. So the first one we'll go over is for the Insurgent side. This one's called the Captive, and I gotta say, this is one of the best looking skins that they put in the game in a long time. I've been pretty much running it 24/7. I just think it stays true to the Insurgency theme and the feel, and it looks great. And then we also got basically what I just call the corrections officer. I'm not sure what it's actually called, but I call it the corrections officer. And then of course we also have the paid outfits as well, which we have this security guy. I'm not a big fan of the face shield. Looks kind of weird. I get it, but it looks kind of weird. And then of course for security we have this, well, pretty much this Bane looking dude right here. But most importantly is something that we've seen, well, something that I've been asking for a long time, and that is some new melee weapons. And with the paid DLC for security and insurgents respectively, you get the baton for security, and then you get the shiv for the insurgents. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the shiv. The shiv looks really nice, and I stab a lot of people on Prison. It's a really nice map to get around people and get around and flank. Again, we'll get into that later, but you can get a lot of stabs off, and I want to stab somebody with a shiv. It's really nice. Moving on from the actual DLC and all of the cosmetics, we're just going to touch on that for a second. Of course, we also got the 2 new shotguns. There's not much to say about the shotguns. The shotguns we already had were pretty devastating, as they pretty much one-shot you 24/7 without much need for a follow-up shot. And then on top of that, we also got a not fully automatic but pretty quick shotgun for the security side, and the insurgent side is more of a like sawed-off one-handed shotgun that honestly looks like it should probably break your wrist. And a good majority of your fighting is going to be very close quarters, so having those shotguns was just I'm tired of getting killed by shotguns at this point. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm incredibly tired of being killed by these shotguns, but they're cool. They're not the fully automatic shotguns that people were asking for, but maybe people who like to main shotguns like them. I don't know. I tried using both of them, and they just kind of feel like the normal shotguns, except for the one for security. You literally never have to reload because it has something like 16 shells in there, and if you really have to eat all of that up, well, probably doing something right or something really wrong. Can't tell which. So, while this match is kind of going on in the background, I just kind of want to talk about the map, because this is definitely one of the more interesting maps that they've put into the game, most likely because this was the community map winner for the contest that they had. I want to say it was about 2 years ago. They put out that they were going to do the contest, and then gave times for people to build the actual maps, and then had people test them, and then ultimately Prison was the winner. It's very different from all the maps because you have such close proximity to everything. I mean, this is point A right here for push security, and the security, of course, spawn right over here, so you're very close to the point. And then insurgents on point A normally spawn about right here, somewhere in here, and for some reason I've even actually spawned all the way about right here. And it's such a chaotic map because you're so close to each other, and it just, you spawn in and you get right in, you get stuck in within seconds. You're getting stuck in and, you know, firing at the enemy, which is where the spawn protection comes in to play. Spawn protection was something they put in, and it was specific for this map. It had to have been specific for this map. There's no way it could have been. And where I'm not a big fan for the spawn protection, I didn't enjoy it, and there are times when it just did not work out well in anybody's favor, but you kind of need it. Because especially on point A here, I know they're on the final point over there, but for right now, I just want to take a look right here, because if you were an insurgent, you can come all the way up here, and you can lay down right here with a 50 cal, and if I can get my camera to act correctly here, which I think, no, that's X-ray. So if you're sitting right here with a 50 cal, and you get a 7x scope, you can actually see, I think the round restarted, so you can actually see them all the way right there. It's a little hard to see, but if you just sit right here with a 50 cal, you're not out of bounds, and you can look directly into their spawn. And the round has started, so you can see them coming in, and you can actually snipe them on the way out. And right about there, they'll start dying, but see, that guy just died. But if you try to get them a little too close, like if you try to shoot these guys back here, which I don't think you can actually see them, but you can wallbang this little opening right here, you can kill them. And that's specifically why the spawn protection was put in. I don't think it was really the greatest idea in the world. I think they probably should have gone through and worked restricted zones just a little bit better. But even then, on security side, let's zoom this out a little bit more. Let's see if we can get a insurgent respawn here. And if you actually sit on this sandbag here and you kind of lean a little bit, and then you can actually see right in there, we'll see, looks like a couple of them are dying. See, right there. And this, oh, I think that's actually me right there. Yep, I believe that was me. Trying to shoot all these guys, and they had spawn protection on. So it's kind of needed for this map. I haven't really felt it out with any of the other maps, but the spawn protection was specifically put in for this map, and I think they could have just done it a little bit better. The spawning and the restricted zones are very loose, and you can get kind of these cheap angles to try to, you know, hit them as soon as you get out of spawn. So given the fact that the map is so small, you need the spawns to be close, but at the same time, you don't want somebody like me who's sitting right here take out everybody right here. Or if I'm feeling cheeky and I have my 50 cal and I'm on insurgent side and I'm just sitting right here, I can just go ahead, that guy, I could kill that guy standing right there. Once they kind of get to about that point, then I could kill him and then him. So it's a hard one to figure out. Along with that, we also have this point. They're kind of struggling here. So this is your first point, right? This is point A, this building right here, kind of the patio, and then the building as well is your first point. And unless, there we go, it's kind of getting fully smoked out right now. But unless you fully smoke this out, or call in, you know, a strafe or something to try and help out with it, you're not gonna take this point, period. You can also have security flank around here. Looks we got a guy right there. Well, they already took the point, but you'll have to sit right here, and you'll basically have to kind of spawn camp a little bit, and they run through their spawn where this guy is, and they'll just come through here, and you'll hope that you'll try to kill them as they come out of their spawn. It's pure and utter chaos. But after a while, because I was one of those people that I completely hated this map. I was I was not a fan of this map. I didn't like it. It was too small. There's weird things going on with the spawns and the restricted areas. I don't know if we can see restricted areas here. We cannot see restricted areas here. But it just felt so constricted. But then as it started playing it more, and I've had quite a few matches on this one now, playing the 24/7 playlist, and you know, the further you get and the more you play it, the more you kind of enjoy the chaos. Realistically, with the spawn points being so close together, we kind of see here. Can I get my mouse in here? I cannot. But with the spawn points, or spawn B, I believe we spawn about right here. Yep, so these guys spawn right here. And they're already so close to this B point, which is right here. It's just kind of this whole cargo area here. With it being so close, it's just constant chaos. And that's one thing that I kind of think that Insurgency was kind of lacking, was that complete, you know, chaos. You spawn in, you get stuck in, you start killing people. It's not boring. It's not like playing Crossing. It's not like playing Refinery or anything else like that, where you have these huge long sight lines and you're just constantly trying to call something in, and there's always some dude in some weird obscure area trying to snipe you. It's just, the more you play it, the more you see how horrible it is, and then you realize how good it is because of how horrible it is. Of course, there's still some things that they really have to work out. The restricted areas being one of them. You can still get some pretty good flanks going on. There's also on push insurgent side, where the insurgents are pushing. They will spawn right here. This is where the insurgents will spawn, and the point is actually that building right there. And much like the Geneva Convention, the restricted areas are more of a Geneva suggestion. So you can actually, my usual go-to is we run through here, and this is all pretty much playable. And there's a lot of people that come down here into this tunnel and get out there. But honestly, I just bully my way through the restricted zone, and everything past that gate is restricted. Everything in here is restricted. But once you kind of get to about right here, you start being unrestricted. And when you're unrestricted here, they spawn, the security spawns right here on this kind of gravel right here. So when they're running through and you are participating in the Geneva suggestion and just kind of hanging out up here, and then this stairway for some reason is unrestricted, so you will have insurgents just sit here in the unrestricted. And then once they see one of the waves go down, they'll pop out right here. They'll come to this window, and they will just stare down where you're going to be coming out from, which is going to be right there, or through that little crevice right there, and they're going to try to mow you down. Then once your gun goes up, you just kind of run back here, give it a second, and then you run back out again, and you just kind of do it all over again. So the restricted areas are, again, just a restricted suggestion more so than anything, and you can really play it to your advantage. I think they may have done a small update to try to kind of cut down on a lot of that, but there are definitely times for flanks and other things. Just the restricted areas really need help. So again, when the security respawns from here, let's say we're on the security side and we spawn in here, basically at the beginning of the game they spawn right here, so it's a lot easier. But if you're at the beginning of a match and you're security and you spawn right here, you can go all the way basically into their spawn. You can come all the way up here. Once you come through this guard room here, you start getting restricted, but you can come all the way right here and you can peek this angle right here and just look at that door. And if we come through right here, this is where the insurgents spawn. And they don't have to. They can go that way, or they can run around to up there, but most of them do tend to come this direction. And when you come this direction to either go up to the second floor or come through here, if I can just sit right here, I'm just going to mow them down, which most times the spawn protection isn't actually going to save them. But also, I shouldn't be able to do that. That's ridiculous. And when I'm really feeling like a 100% 100% certified asshole. And when this door is actually up, somebody kicked down this door, I'll just sit right here. I'll wait for a spawn. And nobody checks this because they're running through here. Nobody's checking behind them. That's stupid. And then there'll just be a couple people standing here. They're trying to peek out, and I just basically run up to here, get unrestricted, and get an easy 3-4 kills, sometimes 5 if they really line up for me. In all honesty, the map's kind of great. It's so tiny and chaotic, where at first I really hated the chaos. It didn't feel very milsimmy. It felt a little too fast, but now I like it. It's kind of like playing Shipment or something on Call of Duty. It's so tiny compared to what we have. I've started to absolutely love the chaos that it brings, and it's just really, really great after a while. I don't think it's the best map by any means, but it's a whole lot of fun once you can actually get used to it, figure out where all these little cheeky runaround spots are, and how everybody's kind of trying to play the restricted areas. Then all of a sudden it becomes a whole lot of fun. Now, moving on from the actual gameplay of the map itself and how it kind of flows in the weird restricted areas. I had played Prison a few times on ISMC mod, when Prison was still under development and doing a couple things, and I'll try to put up a few comparison pictures here between what we got and then what the mod looked like before it was turned into an official map. And you can see quite a bit of differences between the two, but most importantly is I really feel like they just kind of threw the Sandstorm filter on the map, and I feel like they really didn't have to do that. The map looked really good before they kind of put the Sandstorm feel to it. I know before it was kind of like there was a river running through it and some other things. It was kind of more in a mountainous region, and this is kind of more of like in the middle of nowhere, Sahara Desert. There's nothing around here besides this prison, which I guess maybe makes sense, but it had so much color and life to it. And then they threw the kind of Sandstorm yellow filter on it, and now it feels kind of dead, a little dull and lifeless. And the previous one, when it was still a mod, just felt so colorful and it felt more real. I don't know if this is supposed to be in the morning or at dusk or something, but the lighting really just puts everything into a yellow tint. It just doesn't feel as good as it would if there's the actual colors showing through, and it just feels dull and lifeless. Alright, so with that's where I'm going to wrap this up. This kind of gone on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one, and I hope to see you out here on Prison while they still have the 24-hour playlist, because I know I've been enjoying the chaos. I highly suggest you get in on the chaos and really give Prison a try, because once you really get the feel for it, once you just learn to live in the chaos, Prison becomes one of the funnest maps in Sandstorm, easily.